United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation by First Lutheran Church.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we gather in gratitude for this change of season that brings new life. Joy in the air as families celebrate graduations and another school year coming to a close. As community leaders, we may ponder the work before us as curious, connected citizens. May we be mindful of those who are home and food insecure, and may we be grounded in our call to serve others. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Sabers. Here. Goldammer.
Here.
Dosher. McCardle.
Here.
Barrington.
Here.
Bathke. Charks. Here. Smith.
Here. Okay, before we start the approval of consent agenda items, I'm going to pull item G out for individual discussion by the council. It is a recommendation of the golf board, I believe, and it should be discussed rather than under consent. So that will be pulled out. Approval of consent agenda items. Items appearing on the consent agenda may be removed by a council member for discussion at the beginning of the formal agenda items. Is there anything you wish to remove?
Not removed, but I did have a question. I haven't had a chance to open mine up, but I can tell you what it was about. No, I can't. Just give me a second. Just a second. It's about, the lights. Yeah, the lights at 7th. And on the accounts payable, and it showed us, in one place, it showed that we weren't paying it, and then the next one down showed that we had paid the 60. Do you know what I'm talking about, Stephanie? Okay, so pull up our payments.
I think you paid for the design of it.
Is that what it was?
Stoplights?
Yeah, it was the
that were
stoplights. Yeah, it was like
rejected?
60. And one was like, we owe this much, we paid zero. The next line was, we owe this much, we paid the full amount.
That was
But
design, I think, but Joe can answer
Is that right? Joe, do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
I'm
I got it.
not 100% for certain, but yeah, we are paying for
So
design
we still are
costs
paying
too.
for the design of
Yep,
it, even though
yep.
we're not going to install them at this time.
Correct.
And that was about a $60,000.
My guess is you're looking at the pay estimates versus
Yes,
the
I am.
claims,
That's
right?
exactly what I'm doing.
So,
Yes, the pay estimates, right there. Down, I have it circled on my thing if I
It'd
had it
be HR
open.
Green.
right there.
Can you go over? 652. It looks like it was paid. Do you see that on the paid to date? The second one down, 6650, yeah,
Yep,
paid to date. So that was just for the design of the.
Yep.
Is
Correct.
that what I did?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was curious about, because I looked at the one above that, and it showed that there was a bill, but that we didn't pay it, and they both have the same amount, the 66,509.60. So I was just curious about that.
yeah, I'm not sure why they're showing in two different lines like that, though.
I wasn't sure either, and so
They-
that's why I decided I would ask.
They show on two different lines because it's two different invoices.
Oh, yep, number 15. No, so the amount is this 1480 and the 562, and then that's the total paid. So it's pay estimate number 15 and pay estimate number 16.
Thanks.
Okay.
Just curious about that. I'm almost open.
Okay, anything else?
Move approval of consent agenda.
Okay, motion by Mr. minus G, correct?
Minus G.
Okay, motion by Mr. McCardle. Second by Mr. Barrington. Discussion? Anybody in the audience who wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying, whoops, sorry, roll call.
Sabers.
Aye.
Goldammer.
Aye.
Dosher. McCardle.
Aye.
Barrington.
Aye.
Bathke. Aye. Charks. Aye. Smith.
Aye.
Motion carries. Citizens' input. If you need to address the mayor, member, city council on an item that is not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time.
I'm going to go first here real quick. Mitchell Main Street, Elizabeth couldn't be here from Mitchell Main Street and beyond. She wants to thank everybody for coming Friday night. There was a huge crowd, great success. And then coming up, they got Memorial Weekend on Saturday, May 25th. If you need to know more about what's happening, it's mitchellmainstreet.com. And then also the first Friday in June, which will be the 6th. Their theme is Garden Party with Habitat for Humanity, and the band will be Bad Habits. And she hopes everybody will be there. Thank you.
Mrs. Pooley?
Oh,
I'm Karen Pooley, and I'm from the Mitchell Food Pantry. I should have been here a month ago to report on our last Easter ham dinner giveaway, but better late than never, I'm here tonight. So it went probably as well as it could have gone. We planned to give away 200 meals, however, we got 211 spiral cut hams, so we plan to give away 211 boxes. Every household got a ham, a gallon of whole white milk, and a 33-pound box that contained 5 pounds of fresh potatoes, 3 pounds of carrots, 3 pounds of apples, 2 pounds of onions, 2 cans of green beans, a can of mushroom soup, 2 pounds of dried cherries, 2 cans of SpaghettiOs, a package of dinner rolls, a pound of butter, a dozen eggs, a package of cookies, and 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. The value of this meal, if purchased locally, would have been $76.24, which would have made our project over $16,000. But we got enough monetary donations and food donations from our churches that we spent less than $1,000. The 211 households came in 180 cars, and they included 91 seniors, 313 adults, 215 kids, for a total of 619 people who enjoyed an Easter dinner. Most came from Mitchell, but some came from Ethan, Fulton, Mount Vernon, Stickney, and Tripp. We had 36 volunteers who donated 118 man-hours just the day of the event. That says nothing about the planning ahead. It was not a pleasant day. It was the weekend where the rain started on Sunday, the freezing rain, snow on Monday, and we had, 8 or so inches. And when it moved out on Tuesday, it left behind wind 20 to 30 miles and gusts to 45. It took us longer than an hour. I assume a few cars wouldn't start and probably a few were snowed in. But I want to thank the City Council, the Public Safety Department, the Public Works Department for clearing the snow, and the Traffic Division for closing the lots. You helped us make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you so much for that. That's just such a gift.
Okay, Mrs. Starks, did you have some?
I did. Yeah, I was contacted by Manny Guevara. He works the evening shift, but wanted to make a comment in public commentary. So he made a 3-minute video to share tonight during public commentary, and Stephanie has it uploaded.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Manuel Guevara, also known as Manny. I'm the owner of, me and my wife are the owners of Shine Design Detailing LLC. A little bit about myself, I graduated in 2012 from Mitchell, I'm Colonel. Shortly after that, I left the Marine Corps, spent some time doing that. When I got out of the Corps, I had quite a few opportunities to go places. You know, I went to the West Coast, I went to the East Coast, maybe sometime I spent in Missouri, traveled the world. So really the possibility of going anywhere was pretty much there, you know. But, you know, I'm originally from LA. I was born in Los Angeles, California. And then when we were young, we moved to Mitchell. So Mitchell is my home. I consider Mitchell a home for me. People ask me, hey, where's home? It's Mitchell, South Dakota. People look at me like, where's that at, right? A lot of my Marines would look at me crazy and say, where's South Dakota at? That's a little bit west. One of the reasons I did move back to Mitchell was because of all the activities and the fun memories I had in Mitchell. One of them being the lake. You know, I enjoyed jet skiing with my friends. I had a friend or grandparents lived out there out by the lake. So we would go tubing, we would boating, we would jet skiing, we would go swimming. I had a lot of fun memories. My sister Jasmine at the lake, we would go swimming a lot. We would go fishing with my grandfather. So there's a lot of good memories for me here in this town. So I really do hope that they get it back to working order, you know. Mitchell's a great place to raise a family. You know, I have my family here. We have a family, a little platoon of my own, you know, and we have 5 at home. And I know they really, you know, they really want to go out and do things. You know, we have to go swimming. We gotta wait for we gotta go to the wreck or go to for the summer pool once it opens up, the aquatics area. Or we have to go like anywhere else, we can't even swim here, So I'm hoping that this helps, I hope that me taking the time here and really give you guys my thoughts, on this whole deal. And I know it takes money to do this. I know it's not an easy thing to do. I know it's not going to be overnight, Like I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. I understand that and I get that. And I know we let it go a long time. So, but I do hope that my kids someday do get to enjoy those activities that we all got to enjoy growing up. And make those memories, here at the lake here in Mitchell. So thank you for your time. A special thanks to Megan Luther for helping out get this out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. And again, I know Mitchell's a great community. I know we need to come together. We really do.
Okay, thank you for that. Does anybody else wish to address council? I have a proclamation. This is Economic Development Week, May 6th through the 10th. I have a proclamation for the economic development. Proclamation of recognition of Economic Development Week, May 6th through 10th, 2024. Whereas communities rely on economic development professionals to promote economic well-being and quality of life. Whereas the Mitchell Area Development Corporation, MADC, is a nonprofit economic development corporation formed under the laws of South Dakota in 1976 and is governed by a 9-member board of directors from the local community. Whereas the economic development professionals at Mitchell Area Development Corporation coordinate activities that create, retain, and expand jobs in order to facilitate growth, enhance wealth, and provide a stable tax base. Whereas these professionals also stimulate and assist entrepreneurs in order to help establish the next generation of new businesses in the Mitchell community, which is the hallmark of the American economy. And whereas the economic developers are engaged in a wide variety of activities to help attract and retain high-quality jobs, develop vibrant communities, and improve the quality of life in the Mitchell area. And whereas I, Bob Everson, Mayor of the City of Mitchell, and the Mitchell City Council would like to recognize and to thank the Mitchell Area Development Corporation, its officers and volunteers for the efforts they continue to make to improve the Mitchell area. Now, therefore, be it resolved that May 6th through May 10th, 2024, be declared Economic Development Week in Mitchell, South Dakota. Dated this 6th day of May, 2024, signed Bob Everson, Mayor, Mitchell. Mike, you come up.
I'll come all the way up. Thank you, Mayor. Yep, you bet. Can I say a couple of quick words? Sure. Mr. Mayor and council members, thank you for this. I think our community has momentum. I think we're doing a lot of good, positive things. We just released an economic report with Dakota Wesleyan University that we'll continue to work on. And watch our Facebook page. We have videos promoting Economic Development Week with a lot of community members and even our own city engineer talking about what economic development means to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody else wish to address it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been going out door to door. I had some people ask me on, last year with the Corn Palace Festival, we got caught up with not having any acts for the Corn Palace show until late. And they were just wondering if we had anything going on yet for the Corn Palace Festival for the shows.
Sure. We have announced 2 acts, which we're very happy about. The festival will run August 21st to August 25th this year. That's a Wednesday through a Sunday. Wednesday, we'll have a free show out in the plaza. Brandon Jones will be on the stage there. Thursday, the Scotty McCreery Show. So if you don't know Scotty McCreery, he's a country artist, young, 30 years old, but he has got the #1 country song in country music this month, or right now, actually. Just inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. The opener for Scotty McCreery will be Rowan Grace. We just approved that, or got word on that today, actually. And then on Saturday, we've signed the band Skillet. It's a rock band. They do rock, Christian rock, alternative rock. And the Saul Band has been approved to open for them. So that's going to be a great rock show. And then on Friday, we will be building a what we call Battle of the Bands. That'll be local regional bands. We're hoping to get 4 bands, 4 40-minute sets. And we're yet to be determined whether it'll be a ticketed event or a free show, but it will be inside the Corn Palace. And then Sunday, we'll have free entertainment on the outside stage as well. So yes, our 2 large ticketed shows are set, and we're very happy with the entertainment that we've got. And of course, all the advertising on the festival is on our website, and those acts are announced on our website as well.
We did use a new company for the entertainment this year, and I think, Doug, they've been a lot better to work with, have they not?
Well, it was just a combination of things last year, but yeah, Pepper Entertainment is our contractor for the entertainment, and they're very well known across the country and certainly the Midwest, and that's helped with some routing of acts.
I just want you to know that I had some friends of ours from Sioux Falls reach out to me and say, are you in any way responsible for Skillet coming to Mitchell? Because they're our favorite band, and we're so excited we'll be there, and they were thrilled about it. So I've been listening to Skillet, and it's very exciting. So that'll be a great concert.
A good diverse setup so far this year.
And Scotty McCreery, I mean, come on, that's so great. Congratulations.
Okay. Mr. Kippis.
Good evening. My name is Joe Kippis. I'm with Friends of the Fire Steel. Also doing a little bit of door-to-door work, we're finding out that we still have a lag in information or some misinformation about the lake project. And so I guess what I'm up here tonight is to plug May 7th. There is a open house at Valley View Vista from 5 to 7. There'll be bus rides available. You can get on the bus at the James Valley Community Center, and they can get you out and back. And then on May 9th, here in the council chambers, there's going to be an information sharing, 2 hours, I believe, 7 to 9. And that will also be recorded, or you'll be able to watch it on the Mitchell YouTube channel and also on Mitchell Telecom. So I encourage everyone, this is an important election, I'm encouraging everyone to make sure you get good information and then vote how you see fit, but make sure your information is good and factual. So that's a good opportunities to do that on the 7th and the 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will point out the Valley View Vista thing tomorrow night will show you what's going to happen in the watershed. You'll be able to look out over the Firesteel Creek where we're going to do the work from Ducks Unlimited. Mr. Schrader will be available to answer any questions you might have. He tried to stake out where some of the things are going to be, but I think he found that the vegetation has already gotten big since the rains have happened. So we'll do our best to make it very visible to people. So it should be very interesting if you're interested in what's going on in the watershed. And the other Thursday night will be informational as to the Lake Mitchell project. So it's not a debate. It's only information provided to those interested. So.
Mr. Mayor, I was going to ask, I'm also walking around, and I think people are really interested in getting some more information before they vote here in about a month. The people, they'll be able to watch it at home, is that correct, too?
Correct.
It'll be on Mitchell Telecom 90, and then also streaming, is that a true statement? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course,
and then
Mitchell Telecom's got to carry it for it to go. I mean, we'll put it out there for them, but.
Right.
I believe that I got an email from Scott saying that they have it scheduled to air Thursday.
good.
Okay,
So
hopefully it gets tested before, just to make for sure
I hope
there's
so.
no
But
hiccups.
as we've said before, we only control the YouTube, and that
Correct.
will be streaming and recorded.
Yeah. So the other question I've got is there, the people that are watching at home or on their phone or whatever, will they have the ability to email or text if they have a question?
I guess if they have a question, if they could send that ahead of time, that would be easiest, because in order to make it so that it's easier for people to view who are at home, we're going to be doing something different with the camera. So we're going to be showing the TV or the computer screen when we're doing the presentation. I don't know how I'll be able to manage that, and just if they could do it ahead of time, that'd probably be easiest. Yep.
If they know somebody's number
Otherwise, if they
here and
wanna
they
text
text them,
someone in
we'll
the
try to answer as best we can. Or
Yep.
if we can't get it in Thursday night, we'll definitely get back to them as quickly as we can.
It's just going to be our first time showing the computer on the video
Sure.
instead of the people.
So we're going to obviously rearrange the
There is a
room to accommodate as many people as we can.
Well, it's going to be limited seating, and
Right.
there is a park board meeting right before this meeting, which is supposed to get done about 6:45, so there will not be a lot of changes made to this room, just because of the nature of the room is busy all the time. Primarily, the only reason why we're doing it here is because it's an audio and video system that we can record and push out for others, but I guess if people aren't able to get into the room, I would encourage them to watch on YouTube.
And you just brought up a good point, too. It's going to be recorded, so people can go out and watch it whenever they have time. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, anything else under public commentary? Go ahead, Mr. Goldhammer.
Just one last thing, that there is a forum and candidate initiative being held at Dakota Wesleyan by the Mitchell Area Chamber of Commerce on May 14th from 5:30 to 8 p.m., where you can meet the candidates, learn about some of the issues, and that will have direct questions asked to the candidates and some of the issues on the ballot. So if you're having questions, that'd be a great place to be as well.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, Board of Adjustment, entertain a motion for City Council to recess, sit as the Board of Adjustment.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goldhammer, second by Mr. Barrington. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Hearing and action on the application of Adam Cook variance permit. Adam Cook has applied for a variance permit for a side yard setback of 3 feet versus 8 feet to build a 26 wide by 68-foot deep attached garage located at 2212 Kelly Drive, legally described as Lot 1 except the west 150 feet country living estates in the northeast quarter, Section 14, Township 103 North, Range 60 west of the 5th Prime Meridian, Davis County, South Dakota. Property is zoned UD Urban Development. Mr. Jenigas.
Mr. Mayor and Council, Planning Commission recommended approval of this 5-0 with 2 absent. Notices were in the paper, neighbors were notified, it was signposted. There were 2 letters returned in favor for this. In 2020, the applicant actually was approved for this same variance, but he never built it due to COVID and the rising cost of lumber at the time. He'd like to put this garage, it has changed since 2020, it's 8 feet deeper now as opposed to 60 feet, it's 68 feet, and it's gonna set out in front just a little bit further. He's trying to accommodate the width that he has by doing a double wide garage door instead of 2 singles, so he doesn't have to have the extra space, whereas he'd probably be asking for a 1-foot variance instead of a 3-foot. And since it's 68 feet deep, he can go tandem with a few different vehicles in there and his boat and some other equipment that he has to store out there. I can answer any questions that you may have for me.
Motion by Mr. McCardle, second by Mr. Sabers. Further discussion? Anybody else wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Hearing and action on the application for Michael and Delana Cruz variance permit. Michael and Delana Cruz have applied for a variance permit for a combination of attached and detached accessory buildings of 2,716 square feet versus 2,000 square feet to build a new detached accessory building of 2,040 square feet located at 1020 Chalkstone Drive, legally describes Lot 1, Block 1, North Ridge Park, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota. Said property is on R1 single family. Mr. Jennings.
Mr. Mayor and Council, Planning Commission recommended approval of this 4-0 with 1 abstention and 2 absent. Notices in the paper, sent out to the neighbors, signed posted. There were 4 letters essentially returned in favor. 1 that requested some more information, but he did send back that he had no issues with this. They've discussed it with their neighbors around the area. The neighbors to the west would like it set back a little bit further than the standard 25-foot setback, which they have no issues with doing that. The building that they're proposing, it's garage up front, then kind of a workshop, and then a storage area for lawn tools and things like that in the back of it. They would, if this is approved, they would also re-side their house so it's a matching from the garage to the house. I can answer any other questions you may have for me with this one.
Motion by Mr. Sabers. Second. Second by Mrs. Charles. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this one? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Hearing and action on the application for Chuck Stevenson variance permit. Chuck Stevenson applied for variance permit for a combination of attached detached accessory buildings of 4,216 square feet versus 2,000 square feet to build a new detached accessory building of 3,312 feet located at 114 South Harmon Drive, legally described as lots 4 and 5A, Block 3, and that portion of vacated Indian Head Drive, all in Indian Head. Second edition, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota. Said property is owned RL Lake Residential. Mr. Jenigas.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Planning Commission recommended approval of this 5-0 with 2 absent. Notice in the paper, neighbors are notified, signs posted. There is 1 letter returned in favor of this. The applicant has sheds at 2 different locations. One's on Sam Street, one's on Indian Head Drive right now. So he'd like to sell those and move essentially all the stuff that he has at those into this location. So it's 2 sheds and then a lean-to for the 3rd structure, but it's all combined into one. Probably be a 2-tone building, maybe brick mold on the front of it, capital up on top. I can answer any questions that you may have for this one as well.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Second by Mr. Barrington. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address it? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Entertain a motion for Board of Adjustment to adjourn and reconvene in regular session.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goldhammer. Second by Mrs. Charks. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. All right, we're going to move item G from the consent agenda, Class A Golf Superintendent Golfing Access. Mr. Nelson, you want to start that off?
Certainly. Mr. Mayor and Council, the Golf and Cemetery Board has requested the city consider including a single golf membership as part of the Class A Golf Superintendent's position. Human Resources surveyed 7 other first-class communities, of which 4 communities do provide free memberships for their golf superintendent. I believe there's some benefit to having the golf superintendent on the course, gaining firsthand knowledge of the course conditions and playability, and experiencing member-related and user comments firsthand. At this point, our Golf and Cemetery Board President, Jeff McEntee, would like to speak to this.
Come on up, Mr. McEntee.
Would like to speak about this.
Hey.
We'll visit at our next board meeting. I guess I was here to maybe answer questions if there was any. To me, when this came up, we discussed it at our last board meeting. First of all, we didn't know it was even an issue. This is an industry standard across the country. I've never heard of a superintendent paying for golf before. It was a result of other issues going on in other areas, departments, that this was brought up. We 100% support it. If I could, I'd mandate Jason be out there once a week playing golf. To me, this, if there's any issues here, it's a solution looking for a problem. I can't say it much more plain than that.
Okay.
So I'd gladly answer any questions you might have.
I'll move to approve. I think it's a good deal to have them out there.
Okay.
See what the course looks like. If there's things being fixed or worked on, you can see what needs to happen to be out there.
Okay, motion by Mr. McCardle,
Second.
second by Mrs. Charks. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Special event permit application for Corn Pal Stampede Rodeo Parade on Saturday, July 20th, 24. Mr. Hebe, you want to start this off?
Mayor, Council, Aaron Hebe. There's just a couple items I wanted to add about this special event permit application request. The Corn Palace Stampede Rodeo is humbly requesting that the City Council waive the $200 street and parking lot closure fee. Also, the Corn Palace Stampede Rodeo, they've already submitted their $50 parade permit fee as well. And City Council, or City staff, they do recommend City Council approval of the special event permit as stated in the application.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Charks. Second by Mr. Barrington. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Special event permit for VFW Post 2750 Annual Chili Cook-Off on Saturday, October 12th, 2024. Mr. Heem, you want to start us off?
Go first, and I'll let you. Mayor, Council, Aaron Heeb. Again, just a couple items with this request. The VFW Post 2750 is requesting that the City Council waive the $200 street and parking lot closure fee, as well as they want to utilize one picnic table, so they are requesting the waiver of that fee as well. And then the VFW Post 2750 has already submitted their $500 consumption permit fee. And staff recommends City Council approval of the special event permit as stated in the application.
Thank you. Come on up, sir. You want to speak?
My name is Art Escalante. I'm the Senior Vice Commander of Post 2750. We're going to have the chili cook-off on October 12th and goes from noon to 4 p.m. And we set up the cookers, I think, about 7:30, and they'll start cooking. We're going to have kids' activities, which is blow-up air house that we had like last year. So. And he covered everything I was going to say about the street closure, waiving the permit. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Charks. Second by Mr. Savers. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve changing handicap sign to 15-minute parking sign, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday on 100 block of East 3rd. Mr. Schrader.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. It has been requested that a handicap sign be removed and replaced with a 15-minute parking sign from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on the 100 block of East 3rd Avenue, the north side of the street, just west of the alley. We have been in conversation with that business that sign is directly in front of. They are in support of changing that from a handicap sign to a 15-minute parking spot. The handicap sign was previously requested by the business that was at that location previously. So that's why it was a handicap spot previously.
This does not affect the number of ADA signs or parking places we have, does it?
No, since this was an additional sign requested by a business, all the ones that were there previously remain.
Okay, thank you.
I was looking at this diagram. It doesn't look like we have very many handicapped. I mean, that is the only handicap parking stall that we have, except for if we go clear across the street. And I don't know.
Generally, they're recommended to be at the corners because that's where the ADA
Right.
access onto the sidewalk is. It's kind of rare to have them in fact, I
Yeah.
think they discourage you from being in the middle of the block, don't they?
They want them at the corners where it is an ADA accessible location.
So, yeah, my question is, I'm kind of aware of this because I've had my mom with me for 5 weeks and she has a handicap. She needs handicap parking access. So I'm just looking to see where a person might park in this section of downtown if they were going to go. I don't see any places that we have not. I'm not worried. This is kind of like separate from the one that we're removing.
Yep.
But you see what I'm asking? I don't see that we have any there.
We could go through and review the standards.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with parking lot handicap standards.
Sure.
I'm not as familiar with on-street parking handicap requirements, but we could definitely review that internally. And if we need to update anything, we could certainly do that.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to just do that on a periodic basis. This would be a good time. Otherwise, I will move that we approve that we change that handicap stall to a 15-minute parking stall.
Motion by Mrs. Charks.
And just one more question before we go, before that. What is this building that has the 15-minute? What is in this business?
I think they moved a dog grooming.
Dog
A
grooming
dog
business.
grooming
Yep.
business?
I
Okay.
can't think of the name of the business off the top of my head. What?
Fresh Paws? Precious Paws.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So we have a motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Goldhammer. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve 7th and Raleigh light proposal. Now, this is not stop lights, this is street lights. So, Mr. Schrader, fire away.
This is in the parking lot at 7th and Raleigh. We're just looking to add two lights to put out over that parking lot. This has been requested by our traffic department. The lights would be placed on existing poles at the locations shown on this map, and we do recommend approval.
Motion approved. Motion by Mr. Savers. Second by Mr. Barrington. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to award bid for paving and overlay project 2024-15. Mr. Schrader.
Yep, Mr. Mayor, Council. Bids were received, or were opened on May 1st in City Hall Council Chambers at 1:30 p.m. One bid was received by Commercial Asphalt. Bid Schedule A is our overlay list. That project came in at $619,316.20. And bid Schedule B is cost to pick up per ton at the plant. We do that for patching with our city crews. That came in at $70 per ton. The attached bid tabulation shows the prices from the previous year. We do recommend awarding.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Second by Mr. Bathke. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve agreement A 2024-19, settlement agreement with Pitts Design, build on plaster and indoor pool shell. Mr. Johnson.
All right, so this has obviously been a long-standing issue. The repair itself was actually completed last year, but getting the compensation negotiated and worked out has taken some time. As you look in the agreement itself, you can see that at this time, it would result in the city being paid a total of $120,342.21. Essentially, that's everything that the city was able to claim for damages. And the release itself would apply to basically the plaster delamination issue that we had, as well as issues relating to the pool shell integrity that kind of came up and were questioned during the repair process. So I guess with that, I can open it up to any questions.
The city didn't incur any actual costs for the repairs, or did we?
We weren't responsible for paying for the repair work that was done, but we did incur some costs as to some designing and engineering services that were done on selecting the appropriate repair method. But the compensation that you see in front of you tonight does include reimbursement for those expenses.
So does our warranty start over?
Essentially, yes. Yep.
I'll definitely make a motion to approve. We've been waiting a long time for this.
Motion, we have motion by Mr. McCarl, second by Mr. Savers. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve agreement A 2024-20, permanent easement with Sand Venture LLC from North Harmon Sanitary Outfall. Mr. Schrader.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. This easement agreement is with Sand Venture LLC, which will provide a sanitary sewer easement through their property. The project will install sanitary sewer, which will eliminate two lift stations, the North Harmon lift station and the airport lift station. Staff recommends authorizing the permanent easement agreement and for the mayor to sign.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Savers. Second by Mr. Smith. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve agreement A 2024-21, permanent easement with CJM Consulting, Inc. for North Harmon Sanitary Sewer Outfall Project. Mr. Schrader.
Yep, Mr. Mayor, Council, this is for the same project, but this easement is for CGM Inc.'s property. The only difference on this one is in this location is farm ground. They have requested $2,500 per year for crop disturbance, which comes out to roughly $220 per acre, which is, relatively normal rental rate for property within the cropland within the area. And with that, we do authorize, or we ask that you authorize for the mayor to sign and to approve the easement.
Okay. Questions? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Charles. Second by Mr. Barrington. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Action to approve agreement A 2024-22, equitable sharing agreement and certification.
Mayor and Council, Chief Koster, this is an annual agreement that we have. It allows us to request funds from the Department of Justice. Any proceeds would come from liquidated seizures, assets. And again, this is an annual agreement that we typically do have. Just asking for approval for the mayor and myself to sign this.
Motion by Mr. McCardle.
Second.
Second by Mr. Goldhammer. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve resolution R 2024-29, plat of lots 5A and 5B, a subdivision of Amico irregular tract. Mr. Jenigas.
Mr. Mayor and Council, Planning Commission recommended approval of this 5-0 with 2 absent. They are looking at selling off the back portion of this area. So they have hired SPN to plat this. There is an easement that goes from Lot A to Lot B. That's 25-foot wide ingress egress access. It's zoned highway business, so it meets all the setbacks that are required for going around the building since it's 0 foot for that. It meets the front yard setback and also width and area. I can answer any questions that you may have for me.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Goldhammer.
Second.
Second by Mr. Savers. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Action to approve resolution R 2024-30, creating tax increment District 34 and approving project plan. Mr. Johnson, you going to start us off on this?
I sure can. So similar to the last TIF that we approved a couple weeks ago, this is a TIF being requested by Ivers Austin LLC. This one would be in relation to the Make It Mine property. It will involve the, renovation and an expansion of the business in the area. The Planning Commission did meet and set the boundaries and recommended approval of the project plan. As far as the plan itself, the estimated increment is about $946,000. The TIF eligible costs do exceed that amount by a couple $100,000, but again, the amount is limited by the amount that the TIF is expected to generate, so that's why that number is essentially the cap. The TIF itself is set up much like all of our last TIFs have been. It's a grant pass-through type TIF. The money is passed through to the developer as it generates. Otherwise, we have standard language in there laying out developer terms, the length of the TIF capped at 20 years, set up so it will not count as constitutional debt against the city. I believe as part of the project plan, they also talk about additional jobs created too. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, Stephanie, but other than that, I think that touches on everything and can open it for questions.
And then one of the standard things also that we do in all the TIFs is they are required to waive the discretionary formula as well.
Looks good to me. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. McCardle. Second by Mr. Sabers. Further discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Second reading on ordinance 0202404, rezoning a portion of Lot 1 and Lot 10, Block 1B, Ridgeview on Foster Addition from Urban Development District to R3 Medium Density, a portion of Lots 6 through 10, Block 1B, Ridgeview on Foster from R4 High Density to R3 Medium Density, a portion of Tract DR1-A, Ridgeview on Foster Addition from R3 Medium Density to R4 High Density. Mr. Jenigas.
Mr. Mayor and Council, Planning Commission recommended approval of this 6-0 with one absent. As you can see, there's three little small portions of this that's getting cleaned up from the first plat of this area to this plat that didn't line up with the zoning for it. There were two letters in favor of this that we received. I have not received any new letters since the first reading at all. I have not had any comment for or against since the first reading. I can answer any questions that you may have for me.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Savers. Second by Mr. McCardle. Further discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion on second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Motion to adopt. Motion by Mr. Smith. Second by Mrs. Charks. Discussion? Anybody in the audience wish to address this? Roll call, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Charts. Aye. Bathke.
Aye.
Barrington. McCardle.
Aye.
Dosher. Goldammer.
Aye.
Sabers.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.